Hi guys, me. Guess who? Say knock knock. Who's there? Anyway, I got another interesting comment from a viewer, possible subscriber. Won't mention their name, but I think they're from New Zealand. And they travel in the U.S. occasionally. And here's his comment. It says, "Hi Rusty, here's another RV question to inspire me." And it did. If you're having trouble with YouTube writer's block, and I do. It's to do with the value of used motor homes. I live in New Zealand, and for the past 4 years I've been vacationing each year in the southwest of the U.S. Wonderful choice of locations. Probably the most beautiful part of the United States. Currently, I stay in flea bag motels and travel by rental car. Next time, I will buy a smaller 15-year-old Class C motorhome, use it for 6 months, and then store it for my next trip. I'm having trouble determining the value of these vehicles. NADA says about $10,000. Dealers can be double this. Private sellers on Craigslist are all over the place, including some really cheap, obvious scams. Do you think NADA can be used as an accurate price guide? Also, is Texas a good state to buy an RV? Good questions. My response was, I put PPLmotorhomes.com is a good place to look for used motorhomes, and it is, because they've got a lot of them. They got them in Houston and New Braunfels, Texas, USA. They have Class A, Class B, Class C. And I've mentioned that they do have two locations in Texas. They may have more. Or try Craigslist. Apparently he's already tried Craigslist and he's not too happy with that. Is Texas a good state to buy a used RV? Well, yes and no. Yes, I guess it is. I would recommend, my opinion, because I've bought used RVs. Well, I know. Yeah, I've bought 2 used RVs, travel trailers, not motorhomes. And I always wanted to buy them as far away from the Gulf Coast of Texas as I could, because if they're parked along the Gulf Coast of Texas, they get rusted and rotted. I mean, I don't know what that salty air does, but it just eats up stuff. So I would recommend buying in areas with a dry climate, not Houston, Texas. New Braunfels, Texas would be okay. Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas. And also, I would recommend highly taking a look at places in Phoenix, Arizona that sell RVs, because at one time I still am thinking about buying a Class B or C for traveling. I'm not sure yet. The reason I don't get too fired up about it is because the gasoline's so damn expensive. But and I just suggested that he looked at Craigslist for sale by owners to use as a guide, and that's about all you can do. As far as NADA, their valuations are what they are. It's just an average based on sales prices. I used to own part of a car dealership years ago, and the way it works is this: if you go to a dealership, they're going to they want to get the highest price they can get, because their game is to steal the trade. In other words, if somebody trades in say a motorhome on a new one or another one, they want to steal it. They want to get it for the lowest price they can get it for, and make as much money off of it as they can, because that's their business. And unfortunately, that's through our society. Probably the best option would be, again, Craigslist is full of scams. I am aware of that. But if you can find, ideally, for a motorhome or even a used travel trailer or any used thing, if you can find it for sale by owner, and that owner lives in an area that is upper middle income, suggesting that they have the money to maintain that particular piece of equipment, there's a good chance that they did. And so you won't be just buying something that is just totally worn out and is being sold by the person because they can't afford to maintain it any longer, and you're just buying a full deck of problems. So if you can find, my suggestion, find an RV, Class C if that's what you're looking for sale by owner in an area with a dry climate. Suggestion 1. Number 2, boil those down to the zip codes or areas that are upper middle income USA. Okay? Then do a Google Earth and actually walk down the street where these people live and look at the houses, because if they're upper income houses and they're well maintained and they got nice cars parked in the driveway and all that sort of stuff, that suggests to me that the individual that you're going to buy from probably had the wherewithal or the money to keep that particular vehicle properly maintained. That means oil changes, tune-ups, tire rotations, tire changes, all the stuff that you have to do to maintain an RV. Maintaining an RV is just the same as maintaining an automobile, no different. Oil changes, tires, everything, same stuff, windshield wipers, all that. And, and also, of course, the guy may be asking, if I'm the seller, I want to get the highest price I can get. And if I'm the buyer, I want to get the cheapest price I can get. So somewhere in between is where you're going to end up. Another thing about trying to get the lowest price, and I've done that before, you get what you pay for sometimes. Sometimes a guy knows that he's really maintained that and it's worth what he's asking. And he's not going to come off of it. So if you get stung a couple of $1,000, you do, but that's a couple of $1,000 that you may have otherwise had to spend had you bought a cheap piece of junk that was not well maintained. So again, look for RVs and stuff in dry areas, and particularly, like Phoenix is pretty close to the area you want to be traveling around in. So yeah, you buy one there and store it there, and you can fly into Phoenix, Arizona real easy, and you're right close to where you're going to be storing your RV. You're done. So, but anyway, it just coincidentally, I've been looking at Class Bs, Class Cs, not Class As, because I want a small unit. Camping in a Prius has spoiled me. And the reason is you can go anywhere, and it's cheap, okay? And for me to buy a motorhome now, it'd be difficult. I've also looked at buying little delivery van type things and, putting a bed in them and stuff. I'm still looking at that. But anyway, I hope that helped you. It probably didn't. But let me say this. When you get ready to make a decision about anything, my opinion, and I learned this from a college professor in business, in a graduate business school at University of Houston, Victoria campus. And he said, whenever you have to make a decision, gather all the information related to that topic that you can get. Just bombard yourself with information related to the topic at hand. And then put it away. After you've read that stuff and gone through it, perused it, scanned it, whatever you did, put it away for about 2 or 3 days and let it assimilate. Okay? And it does. Your brain's working on it, believe it or not. And at some point, you'll come up with a pretty damn good decision. Trust me, and it works. And having said all that, Mr. New Zealand, I wish you well. You have picked a great place to travel in the U.S. And good luck to you. So, adios amigos. See that? Thumbs up. Carpe diem. And it didn't come out. Bye-bye. Came out that time. Adios.